Why does your cat wait until the exact second you stand up, only to steal your spot? It happens so fast that it almost feels planned. You get up from the couch, the bed, or your favourite chair for just a moment, and before you even come back, your cat is already there. Most people laugh and assume it means one simple thing: your spot is warm, end of story, but that explanation misses almost everything that makes this behaviour so meaningful. Because when your cat chooses your place the moment you leave, they are not just taking a warm seat. They are choosing something much deeper. Something tied to how cats understand safety, scent territory, and emotional connection. And if you've been brushing it off as just another weird cat habit, you may have been missing one of the clearest signs of how your cat truly experiences you. So before you assume your cat is just being sneaky, you need to understand what they're actually doing the moment they curl up where you were just sitting. Most owners think they already know the answer. The cushion is warm, the blanket is soft, the chair feels nice, and yes, warmth does matter to cats, comfort matters too. But if warmth was the only reason, your cat would have endless options: sunlight on the floor, a heated windowsill, a soft blanket in another room, a cat bed designed specifically for comfort. And yet again and again, your cat chooses the exact place your body just left. The couch cushion you were sitting on, the pillow your head was on, the spot on the bed where your legs were resting. That level of precision is not random, and it's not just convenience. Cats don't simply move toward comfort. They move toward meaning. They pay attention to things humans barely notice: temperature changes, scent traces, the emotional tone of a space. And when your cat climbs into your spot, they are responding to a combination of those signals in a way that reveals something very personal. We'll come back to the deepest part of that later, but first we need to start with the explanation most people get half right and then stop too early. Point 1. It's not just warmth. Let's start with the obvious one. Yes, your spot is warm, and cats love warmth. Their bodies are designed to conserve energy, which means cozy places naturally attract them. A seat that still holds your body heat is more inviting than a cold corner across the room. That part is true, but here's what most owners miss. Warmth alone does not explain timing. Your cat doesn't just use that spot later. They use it immediately. That the second you leave part matters. It means that your cat is responding to something fresh, immediate, still carrying your presence. If it were only about heat, any warm surface would do. But your cat often ignores other warm places just to take yours. That tells you the heat is only the surface layer. It's the easiest part to see. Underneath that is something more powerful. Your body doesn't just leave behind warmth, it leaves behind you, your scent, your physical trace, the feeling of where you were. And for a cat, those things matter far more than most humans realize. So yes, your spot is warm, but warmth is not the reason this behavior feels so emotionally charged. The real reason starts where warmth ends. Point 2. Your scent makes that spot feel safe. Cats live in a world built around scent. Humans mostly experience life through sight and sound. Cats do not. For them, scent is identity. It tells them what belongs, what changed, what is familiar, and what is safe. Your body leaves scent behind everywhere you spend time. On blankets, on pillows, on chair cushions, on the side of the bed, on the clothes you leave behind. When your cat moves into your spot, they are not just stepping into warmth. They are stepping into the strongest concentration of your scent in that room. And that matters because your scent is not neutral to your cat. Over time, it becomes part of their emotional map of safety. This is why cats often sleep on worn clothes, freshly vacated pillows, or the exact side of the couch you always sit on. Those places smell like you in the strongest possible way, and to your cat that scent means familiarity, stability, recognition. In the wild, familiar scent lowers stress. It helps animals know who belongs and where safety exists. In your home, your cat uses that same instinct. So when they curl up where you were just sitting, they are placing themselves inside the clearest scent signal of the person they know best. That's not just comfort. That's emotional orientation. Your cat is choosing the version of the space that feels the most like you. Point 3. They're replacing your presence. Now this is where the behaviour becomes much more emotional than most people expect. Have you ever noticed that your cat often takes your spot most quickly when you leave the room completely? Not just when you shift to another seat, but when you disappear. You go to the kitchen, the bathroom, another room, and suddenly your cat moves into the exact place you left behind. That timing suggests something important. Your cat is not just seeking comfort, they are responding to your absence. Cats are often described as independent, but that description hides something deeper. Cats form routines around the people they listed us with. They learn where you sit, where you sleep, what time you arrive, and how your presence changes the emotional tone of a room. So when you leave, something shifts, the environment changes. Your cat notices that instantly. One way they respond is by moving into the place that still feels most like you. In a strange way, your spot becomes a stand-in for your presence. It's the closest physical version of you still available. Your heat is there, your scent is there, your emotional imprint is there. And by settling into that exact place, your cat may be doing something simple but deeply revealing. They may be staying close to you, even when you're gone. Point 4, it's also about territory. Of course this is still a cat, and cats never do only one thing at once. Another part of this behaviour has to do with territory. Cats are highly territorial animals even when they're affectionate. They care deeply about where they rest, where they observe, and what smells like their group. So when your cat jumps into your place, there is also an element of mixing territory. Your spot is already heavily marked by your scent. When your cat lies there, they add their own. Their fur, their body oils, their glands, their scent begins blending with yours. And in the feline world, shared scent is a powerful social signal. It means belonging. It means this is ours, not just yours or mine. This is especially important in homes where cats and humans have built a strong routine together. Your cat is not just taking over the spot. They are integrating themselves into it. They are turning your place into a shared space. This is one reason some cats seem almost offended when their favourite human's place changes too much. A washed blanket, a moved pillow, a new cushion, a changed chair. To us it's nothing. To them it disrupts a familiar territory map. So when your cat chooses your exact place, part of what you're seeing is a subtle act of social claiming. Not domination, not disrespect, but belonging. Your cat is saying in the only way cats know how this place is part of my world too. Point 5. Your spot holds your emotional pattern. Here's the part most owners never think about. Your cat is not only attached to your scent, they are attached to your pattern. Think about what your favourite spot means to your cat. It's where you sit when you're relaxed, where you rest, where you watch TV, where you read, where you wind down at night. Over time, that spot becomes associated not just with your body, but with your calmest state. Your cat observes that again and again. So your place is not only physically marked by you, it is emotionally marked by you. It carries the pattern of your stillness, your voice, your routine, your energy. And cats are astonishingly good at reading repeated patterns. That means when your cat curls up there, they may also be responding to the emotional memory attached to that place. This is part of why cats often choose the seats of the people they feel closest to, even in homes with multiple humans. It's not always the softest seat. It's not always the warmest blanket. It's often the place connected to the person whose presence feels the most steady, familiar, and safe. In that sense, your spot becomes more than a location. It becomes an emotional landmark in your cat's life. Point 6. It can be a sign of bonding, not possession. A lot of people joke that their cat is stealing their place out of spite. Like the cat waited for the perfect chance to take over and prove a point. It's funny. And yes, cats can look incredibly smug when they do it. But emotionally, this behaviour is usually much softer than that. It's not mainly about power. It's about closeness. Bonded cats seek familiar proximity in subtle ways. They may not always sit on your lap. They may not follow you every minute. They may not constantly ask for affection, but they choose places, objects, and routines that keep them close to your presence. Sleeping in your spot is one of those behaviours. It lets your cat remain connected to you without directly demanding anything from you. And for many cats, that is exactly how they prefer to express closeness. Quietly, indirectly, without forcing interaction. This is why the behaviour often feels emotionally meaningful, even if the cat itself looks completely casual. To them it probably is casual, but that's what makes it so revealing. They are not performing affection, they're just naturally moving toward what feels most like you. And that can be one of the purest signs of a secure bond. Point 7. When it happens more during stress, it means even more. Have you ever noticed your cat does this more when the home feels different, when guests have been over, when your schedule changes, when you're busier, when you've been gone longer than usual? That pattern matters, because in times of mild stress or disruption, cats lean harder into what feels familiar. They seek known scent, known spaces, known people, known routines. So if your cat becomes even more attached to your spot during unsettled moments that suggest the behaviour is not random comfort at all, it's regulation. Your cat is using your place as a way to settle themselves emotionally. The same way a child might reach for a favourite blanket, your cat reaches for a space saturated with you. That doesn't mean they're anxious in a dramatic way. It just means your presence has become part of how they understand calm. And once you realise that the behaviour stops looking funny and starts looking intimate, your cat is not just claiming the chair, they are leaning on the feeling you leave behind. At the beginning of this video, we asked why your cat waits until the exact second you leave, only to sleep in your place. By now the answer should feel a lot deeper than because it's warm. Yes, the warmth matters. Yes, the softness matters. Yes, territory is part of it. But underneath all of that is something more personal. Your spot is the place that feels most like you. It holds your scent, your heat, your rhythm, your routine, your emotional trace. And when your cat moves into that space, they are choosing the closest version of you that still remains. That's what makes this behaviour so revealing. Your cat is not just picking a seat. They are picking your presence. In a quiet, instinctive, deeply feline way, they are saying, this feels safe, this feels familiar, this feels like the one I know. And if your cat does this every time you leave, that may be one of the clearest signs that your presence has become one of the most important parts of their world. So the next time you stand up and your cat immediately slips into your place, don't just laugh and call them dramatic. Look a little closer, because that moment was never only about stealing your seat. It was about choosing the place that still carried you, the warmth you left behind, the scent that made them feel safe, the pattern that felt familiar, the emotional imprint of someone they trust. And for a cat, that kind of choice is never random. It is quiet, it is instinctive, and it is deeply meaningful. Because when your cat chooses your spot the second you leave, they may be telling you something simple, but powerful. Even when you're gone, they still want to be close to you.